Bienvenidos a la Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente es el mejor cerveza. No abate por No Filter Network. Miguelito Sandiaguito, not with us today. Will the Thrill, not with us this morning as well. But he was on fucking fire last night on the Deuces Wild Show. Regardless, we like to come on here each and every single morning and not only salute our boys, but salute each and every one of you. Yes, 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 yes. John fucking Davis is here. Thank you, John. Dude, John, your commitment to the Daily Hustle is next level, and we greatly appreciate it. Hold on a second. This is for you, dude. This round of applause is for real. And then just in case you want a little music, we could do that for you too. This is the Daily Hustle. But wait, there's more. Because just in case I'm getting crickets on the other end, we want to make sure we can hear them. Oh, this soundboard. I love it. I think it's inspired me actually to do more shows. Anyhow, here we go. The Daily Hustle for this morning sent out via email reads like this. Buenos dias and happy tipsy Thursday, October the 3rd, 2024. Daily Hustle quote of the day. I don't get bored with the basics. Kobe. Daily Hustle translation. Kobe Bryant, who was heralded for his relentless work ethic, was once asked by a reporter if he could come watch one of his early morning workouts. Kobe obliged and had the reporter meet him at 4 a.m. When the reporter arrived at 4:30 a.m., Kobe was already a half hour in, sweating profusely and hammering out his routine. Kobe was then asked if he ever got bored. He responded by saying the exact reason why he was the best basketball player in the world was because he doesn't get bored with the basics. Personally, I have always been obsessed with the basics. This was true in baseball as well as every other meaningful pursuit in my life, whether it is coaching, writing, podcasting, endurance sports, or pickleball. I live for the basics. I live for the reps. I live for the endless hours in the batting cage, the daily hustles that get written and never sent out, the podcast prep that includes reading countless articles and formulating opinions, the solo miles on the trails, listening to nothing but nature, my footsteps, and my own breath. I live for repeating the same shot over 100 times while ingraining it within my muscle memory. I live for banging balls against a wall, and no, I don't get bored. Bottom line, if we want to be great, the basics shouldn't ever bore us. They should actually motivate us, give us purpose, direction, incremental improvements, and make us feel more fucking alive than ever. Let's not forget, the reward is the process. Oh, it's so good. It really, really is. Kobe was a once in a generational player. One of the best to ever play the game, obviously, in hoops. But I think it was his approach that has always fascinated me. It was the fact that he would not only go out talent you, but he was going to outwork you in the process. It was funny because I was just talking to Giuseppe Pepe Manueli this morning, and actually what delayed the start of the show. And by the way, on that note, before I get into that conversation, let's Remind the audience that our title sponsor is Bet Online, the number one online gambling destination. Football, baseball, basketball, you name it. Bet Online is your spot. Get in on the mega contest for your chance of earning a piece of the $200,000. I'm not sure if there's still a promo code, but there was a promo code, capital BLEAV, that got you 50% off your first deposit. And by the way, if you want to hang around after you're done with your sports gambling and hit the slots, hit the 150 different games that they have, online poker, whatever it is you degenerates want and need, it is there for you on Bet Online. So remember this, the game starts here. All right. So what Joe was saying, he was talking about his daughter Maya's volleyball coach. And apparently they're having this great season. And yesterday at practice, the girls had music playing. They were having a good time. All was great. And the coach didn't appreciate something that she was seeing. And I don't know if it was lackluster play, sloppy, whatever it was. But in the middle of them with the music and having fun and doing their thing, she shuts all the music off and she reams them. And she basically says, hey, look, we have a huge game tomorrow. You girls, you need to focus. Well, remember this. And then this got me thinking about the Instagram post that I saw last night about Baker Mayfield and Tom Brady and how Baker Mayfield was told when he got to Tampa, hey, look, I want you to come in here. We want you to come in here. We want you to be yourself. We want you to instill fun back into this game. This hasn't been a whole lot of fun for the Bucs the last few years, which then, of course, would have everybody scratching their head and wondering if this was a knock on Tom Brady. So then Tom, who's now in the booth, responds to this. And he's like, look, you know what's fun? Winning Super Bowl rings. That's fun. So if I was looking to just have fun, I'm going to go with my kids to Disneyland. When you're working towards a common goal, you're making sacrifices along the way. And part of the sacrifices that you make, a lot of the sacrifices that you make, is the fact that it's not going to be fun in the immediate. This is something, sometimes you just have to grind, you have to work it. It goes along with today's daily hustle, where I don't know if fun is the right word. I know I fucking love it. I know I love pounding pickleballs against the wall, using both hands, messing around. I got the Slinger pickleball machine arrived yesterday. I can't wait to take it out to the court and just hit the same shot over and over and over and over and over again. Is it fun? Yeah, I mean, you can classify it however you want. But you know what's fun for me, really fun, is improving. And I enjoy the work. And literally the reward that I get out of all this is not a pickleball medal at my next tournament. I don't care about a fucking medal. I care about the process. I care about the grind. And that's not always going to be classified as fun. But when you do win, that's a nice recognition of your work in the past. And it goes to a quote I read this morning about John Wooden. Or not about John Wooden, but what John Wooden was saying. And he basically was saying, make today your masterpiece. And what we do today will, in large part, determine how we do tomorrow. I put this one up on IG this morning. And you think about that. What we're doing today is predicting our success in the future. So Today is the only thing we can control. I can't look back. I just can't do it. Yesterday, I loved yesterday. Grateful for the experiences of yesterday that put me into this moment today, but I'm not going to celebrate or dwell upon past successes and mistakes. I don't give a fuck. This was another big conversation that I had yesterday with a good buddy of mine, Todd the Rock. I was down with him in San Diego, and we're just talking about the progression in life. And we were talking about pickleball specifically, but essentially what I was saying is that, look, dude, I don't care how good you were in the past. It's what you're putting into it now that's really going to determine the type of player you are today and tomorrow. Makes sense? So there was a dude that we played with, good player, really good player, that just hadn't played a lot of pickleball. Played a couple times in the past year, but this guy was the dude of all dudes. But like anything else in life, the only thing we're ever going to get out is what we put in. And so Rocket and I were just kind of laughing about that. It's like, yeah, we could use this analogy for pickleball, but this goes beyond pickleball, right? Show me what you do and I'll show you who you are. So anyhow, it's fascinating to me, but the Kobe Bryant, don't get bored with the basics. Don't, and understand sometimes I think in my life and in my pursuits, I just go into that zone. That's it. So anyway, and Joe, good morning to you as well. And I love it, John. Yes, get out there and play yourself some pickleball. So MLB scores yesterday. The Detroit Tigers eliminate the Houston Astros 5-2. AJ Hinch gets his revenge. You can try to downplay this all you want, but the bottom line is that AJ Hinch took the fall for some players that had a whole operation going on their own. AJ repeatedly asked them to knock that shit off several times when it came to the trash can banging and everything else, and somewhat turned the other way. It was actually Carlos Beltran who was sort of the ringleader of the entire sign stealing incident. But then AJ became the fall guy. Well, the same sort of thing, if you guys remember, also happened in Boston. Yet, their guy gets shipped out for a year, suspended for a year, whatever it was, and then brought back. In my opinion, AJ got a fucking raw deal in Houston, especially because he had turned that franchise around. He had brought them to the pinnacle, winning a World Series there, and then boom, gone, ends up in Detroit, and then comes back and fucking sticks it to him in Houston too. That had to feel good. The Tigers are one of the most undercover teams in all of baseball. Will and I went through their lineup last night, and we hit the music, and we did a whole Meet the Tigers segment as we regaled you guys. They're fun to watch. Check this stat out. So they beat Josh Hader yesterday. Josh Hader makes $19 million. The entire active roster of the Detroit Tigers, $18.1 million. It's incredible. Their playoff percentages, their chances of making it, that is, went from, I took a picture of this last night on MLB Network because I couldn't believe it. So their playoff percentage on August 11th was 0.1%. On August 24th, 0.5%. On September 14th, 3.4%. So this is only a couple weeks ago. And then even September 30th, 39.3%. So this is actually the odds of making the ALDS. So they had to get through the first round like they did. But it's just insane to think that they pulled it off. Tariq Skubal, I got to listen to him last night talk, and he's doing an interview. He's good, man. This guy's, you could tell how and why he is one of the very best pitchers in all of baseball. He will be your Cy Young Award winner in the American League. But other than that, they don't even have another fucking starter. They're doing this by piecing their shit together, which makes you scratch your head and think, could this be the future of baseball? I don't know. I don't think this is the way you want to go. The Astros had a plethora of starting pitching, so much so they did not even put Justin Verlander on the roster, and they end up going home, or I guess in this case, I should say staying home. The Baltimore Orioles yesterday lost to the Kansas City Royals. And unfortunately, for the second year in a row, after having a fantastic season, they will be watching the rest of the playoffs at home. The Royals, on the other hand, Bobby Witt Jr., back-to-back nights, ended up with the game-winning RBI. Last night, it was him beating out a single, busting his ass down the first baseline after he fired a shot up the middle. So we're going to get a rematch between the Kansas City Royals and the New York Yankees. One of my favorite series of all time, even though I don't even know I was alive yet. If I was like 1 or 2 when they faced off, and George Brett and Craig Nettles went to blows over at third base. Just one of my favorite clips in the history of Major League Baseball. And the reason why is that Brett goes in, Nettles, I think, keeps the tag on, pushes him off the base, whatever. Boom. George Brett swings, hits him, back and forth, full brawl ensues. Nobody, check this out, nobody got kicked out of the game. It was fucking insane. So I'm looking forward to the KC New York Yankees rematch. I think this is going to be a good one, and this is going to be a fun one. So the only game that will be played today in these best of 3 series are the New York Mets at the Milwaukee Brewers after the Brewers came back last night and scored a 5-3 victory over the Mets. Garrett Mitchell, my UCLA brethren, a huge 2-run shot to solidify the Milwaukee victory. And then Jackson Chourio, the 20-year-old, became, I think it was the 5th youngest in playoff history to hit a home run. Ironically, it was Andrew Jones who was the youngest in 1996 at 19 years old. And Andrew Jones and I were hanging out the other day in San Diego. What a fucking awesome dude. And really appreciated that conversation and him talking a biscuit. On that note, look out for Drew Jones, by the way. Drew Jones is Andrew's kid. Finished the back half of the season in Visalia very strong. He's with the Arizona Diamondbacks and could be up and coming soon. Okay, the Padres, they hang on for a 5-4 victory over the Braves last night in San Diego. I mentioned a couple nights ago, I was there. It truly is one of the most electric playoff atmospheres that I've ever seen. Now, is anything going to top 1989, sitting in section 62, Will Clark base hit up the middle? In my childhood mind, no. Is anything going to top 52,000 people on their feet, Yankee Stadium after 9/11, Mariano Rivera on the mound, I'm up in the dish? No. That's my plain perspective. But as a fan, going to a stadium and feeling the energy and the vibe, Wow. That was electric. It reminded me of being at a Buffalo Bills game. That's the last time where I felt that sort of electricity flowing through a stadium. So San Diego then, upon the final out last night, immediately started chanting, beat LA, beat LA, beat LA. This is going to be a fucking banging series. I can't wait for that. I think it's great for the city of San Diego. I think it's great for Los Angeles. I hope they don't act like a bunch of assholes. Coexist, have fun with the rivalry. Whoever wins, wins. But this certainly is going to be a good one. I hope Southern California doesn't fuck this up. You guys know what I mean. I hope this does not get ruined by dumbass brawls and over-the-top shit talk and everything else. Look, have fun with it. Go ahead and pop off a little bit back and forth just for the fans on both sides. Don't be fucking assholes. This is really cool for the state of California. This is really, really cool for Southern California. This is something hopefully we'll be able to celebrate, look back upon, and be like, man, what a series. And then whoever wins this, good luck to them going forward and getting to the World Series and potentially winning the World Series. But I just think that, whoever ends up winning that series, I think with the momentum and everything else, and we'll see how both pitching staffs hold up. But because Musgrove's now out, the Dodgers are somewhat depleted already. I don't know if they have the depth that it's going to take to win in October. But remember this, it's a sprint. So you're literally going from one guy to the next to the next. We're not necessarily looking for 5, 6, 7 innings out of these starters. But I think whoever wins this is going to have a great chance of going to the World Series. They will get the winner of either the Milwaukee Brewers and New York Mets, and obviously the Philadelphia Phillies, who have been fantastic all year long. So that should be a great series as well. Today, 4 p.m., folks, we will have the Mets and the Brewers. This is our first elimination game of the season. I guess that's if you don't count the games the other day on day 163, where we had the Braves and the Mets going up against each other. They end up splitting. Then they end up celebrating on the field. We talked a little bit about it on Deuces Wild last night. Hey, I get it. It's okay for you both to celebrate. But as somebody who played for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I'm trying to put myself in their shoes, because you motherfuckers couldn't win 2 games, they're now getting sent home and are financially disadvantaged too, because they won't be getting a piece of this playoff share. That wasn't a great look. Somebody should have advised against it. And if I'm the Diamondbacks, I'm going to fucking remember that. I am not going to let that slip my memory. All right, everyone have a fantastic day. We are back with a Daily Hustle tomorrow. There's a chance I do an alternative broadcast tonight. Legit. Of the Mets and the Brewers. What a great time of year. This is fucking awesome. They go off at 4:08 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be Quintana against Myers in that one. And yes, Joe, great call. AJ Hinch for manager of the year. John Davis, good luck at your pickleball game, man. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, anywhere else, if you give us a 5-star review, maybe make a comment or two about how you love the show, we'd always greatly appreciate that. That's it. See ya!